Welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at the Google Cloud Directory Sync. Now, there are going to be two lessons in this. One, we're going to look at adding users to the Active Directory, and we're going to use a script to do that. I'm going to show you how to make the script, and if you don't want to learn how to make the script, I'm also going to link the script to this lesson so that you can have that for yourself. This is going to be an optional lesson. In the second lesson, we'll be doing the synchronizing from Active Directory to the Google Cloud. Okay, so let's get started. I'll leave a link to this in the resources. This is a page about dsadd and how to use these scripts to add users to your Active Directory. Now, if you're just going to add one or two users to your Active Directory, please just add a new user the normal way. The reason why I'm going over this is quite a few of our clients are schools. They will get an influx of either grade 8 pupils or a grade 1 pupils. And what then happens is they need to add all of those to the Active Directory. So doing it via a script is much faster. So they put in there, they've already captured all the children into their school administration system, and most school administrations systems can export that, all of those users, into an Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file. We're going to then take that CSV file, use it in our script that we're going to be making today, and you can then copy and paste the script into a command prompt on your server, and it will add each of those pupils individually for you. It will add their usernames, their email address, their passwords, all in one shot. We can add 200 users in 5 minutes once you've got the Excel spreadsheet that I'm about to show you made. Let's show you how this works. So this is the spreadsheet we are going to be making. Let me give you a brief idea. It might look complicated, but I will go through the whole thing with you. At the end over here, you'll see the script. And the way it will work is you're going to copy this whole thing, and then you are going to paste this into a command prompt on your server where there's nothing in this Active Directory. You're going to right click and the whole thing will be pasted, and it will add the users straight to your Active Directory in one shot. Now obviously we've only got a couple of users here. You would do this with maybe 100 users, 200 users, 1,000 users. If you're just starting off with your Active Directory, you could do it this way. So I'm going to delete those for right now, and let's make the spreadsheet. If you don't want to, you can look at the spreadsheet that's attached, and you can try and figure it out for yourself. Okay, so let's start a new spreadsheet. Okay, and let's call this Active Directory, adding users. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab just these things from that, and these are passwords, and these are the people I'm going to add to this Active Directory. So the first thing we want to do is we want to clean up the first names, and in here you see there's a dash, and in here you see there's a space, so we want to remove those, and we want to put these all together. So the first thing we're going to do is make a username. Now depending on how you want your usernames to be formatted in your Active Directory, you might be different from mine. But for most of the schools and that we're dealing with, it is normally first name, surname at their domain. So let's say username, we're going to say equals that one and that one. Push enter, and I'm going to drag that down. Okay, a couple of problems that I see in this username already. One, we have dashes in there, which I don't want. And two, under Jimbo over here, you see there's a space. We have a space under his username too. So we need to remove the dashes, we need to remove the spaces, and I would also like all of these to be lowercase. Just works better for me. If you'd like to keep yours uppercase, that's absolutely fine. So let's now edit this formula. The first formula we're going to put in is called substitute. And what substitute does is it looks inside A2 for whatever you're looking for and replaces it with whatever you want it to be replaced with. So we are going to look inside A2, comma. We're going to be looking for spaces, so that is quotation, space, quotation. And then we're going to replace it with no space. So I'm going to do another comma, and then do quotation, quotation, and then close those brackets. Now, it did nothing to Andy Lee, because that isn't a space, but if you drag this down, you'll see it removes the space from Jimbo. Now, we want to remove the dash from Andy and Lee. So we're going to say we want to look for all dashes inside this and remove them. So we're going to do an embedded formula. So we're going to say substitute again. And we're going to be, okay. And this substitute is going to look inside this formula up until end there. And it's going to say, I'm going to put a comma. Look for dashes. So that's quotation, dash, quotation. And replace it with nothing, comma, quotation, quotation with nothing in between. Close brackets. Enter. And I'm going to drag that down. So now you see that I've removed all the dashes and all the spaces from all the names. Now, spaces and dashes don't just occur in first names. They could also occur in surnames. So I'm going to take this substitute here all the way to the end, just before the and sign, and I'm going to say copy. Paste that there. I'm going to take away B2, and I'm going to replace A2 with B2. And what you'll see now is that it's looking in the first name for spaces and dashes and replacing it with nothing, and then looking in the last name for spaces and dashes and replacing it with nothing. So let's go in here, and we are going to say lower. So run the entire formula with lower, and that means that that is now lowercase. Perfect. Now the next one I'd like to put in is email. I'm just going to give myself some space here, myself a couple of rows. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to add some variables. Okay, so variables. We're going to say domain 1, domain 2, and full domain. So the way Active Directory works is that this top level, which is the Active Directory domain name that we're looking at, this is actually two parts. So we're going to break it down. So domain 1 is going to be taming G Suite. Domain 2 is going to be com. And then the full domain is going to be taminggsuite.com. So we're going to say equals that one, then and sign, quotation, dot, quotation. And you'll see the preview comes up as taminggsuite dot here, then an and sign, and then domain 2. And you'll see it comes up as taminggsuite.com. Now this might seem stupid, but the reason why I do this is that you can then use it as a sheet that you can change quite easily. So if this was taminggsuite.net, for instance, it would automatically update. And then that would automatically update the formula that we're going to be playing with later. Okay, so let's change back to .com. So the email address is going to be very simple. The email address is going to be the username at tamingsuite.com. So equals that and quotation, the @ sign, quotation to close after that, and the full domain. Push enter, and you've now formed your email address. Okay, and I've dragged it down, and you'll see that it's gone all wonky. It says, oh, no, Dwight Schutz, and all of these are wrong. So if you look over here, it goes B5, and the next one goes to B6. So we want to force it to stay at B5, which is all this. So we go $, and then put $1 over there, push enter, and then that will say, when you drag it down, always look at B5. Perfect.